Alright, it is time to talk about August Shop My Stash portion, as always, like I like to do in my Shop My Stash series. Let's start with this portion first, just because we're gonna do something a little different. This NYX glitter primer, it stays in here. I just kind of have it there. It's not a goal to like use every month. It's just a reminder to use to enhance my shimmer shadows, glitter shadows, etc. So yeah, so that just kind of stays in there. The Urban Decay, I can't speak. We're having a brain fart moment. The primer potion from Urban Decay. This is a mini size, sample size. Got me. I'm just gonna call it both. I'm still holding on fine. I feel like I'm nearing the end of it though. I really want to finish this, but I think that I am cutting it very close. That maybe mid-month I will be done with it. Maybe sooner, so I will probably have to pull in another eyeshadow primer. Still a good primer, eye primer for my shadows. Still good, still holding on. Still using it. And my Revlon Volumizing Mascara. I found a way to make this hold my curl a little bit better. It's still kind of, sometimes at the end of the day, my lashes kind of lose their curl. But I have managed to curl my lashes. I apply this mascara at the tips of it very lightly, and then I go and build. I am also thinking that this is drying out, possibly, that I am going to be pulling in a new mascara, and I probably will be having to call this an empty either here soon or like right now or something. Also, still using my sample size of the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. This one is non-waterproof, so I use it on my lower lashes, and it does just fine. No complaints. Still good. Still holding on. And this will be in here until this is nearing its end of life as well. Now we can actually talk about this side of the compartment, the major one we're here for. The Essence Prime Plus Studio. This is an old one, discontinued. They don't make it. I think they have like an updated version. But yeah, this one does hydrate my skin. Doesn't last very long. Haven't had any problems with it not cooperating with my foundation or my concealers or anything. It does feel very much a thicker of a hydrating primer consistency than some of my other ones. But yeah, it's good. I really like this one. I feel like I'm almost finished with this as well, but this will just be going back in my drawer so that I could rotate through the rest of my collection. The L'Oreal Skin Paradise tinted, water-infused tinted moisturizer. I have the shade Light, and I quickly realized that this one, I have no idea what happened. I don't remember it being so like yellowy orange, but it oxidized. This one is an okay foundation. There's nothing really wrong with it. It looks really nice on the skin. Sometimes lately I've been having an issue with it not sticking between my eyebrows or on my nose, and having some dry spots around my nose, and it sticks so badly to that. Yeah, but other than that, it's an okay. There's nothing impressive about it. It did last, did blend. I did enjoy it. I was hoping to possibly finish this, but it's fine. I'm gonna stick it back in my drawer. I will get to it another year. I will get to it another time and actually, finish it up because of the SPF that is in here. They say it does expire quicker. Next up is the AOA Studio Paw Paw Concealer. This is the old branding of it. They've since changed it. I'm not sure if they changed formula or what, but this concealer, I used to love it when I first got it. And I don't know what it is about it that I loved so much, but this one just doesn't cover my dark circles anymore. It doesn't really look good underneath my eyes. It blends fine, it applies fine, there's no issues, but the coverage, I don't find that this gives me any coverage whatsoever like I thought it did, unless maybe in my head it did at one point. But yeah, on its own, I just never liked this. The only way that I really liked using this was using the e.l.f. Camo Color Corrector and pairing the two. So this one still stays in here because you guys know, time and time again, I still want to try it with every single concealer that I put in my Shop My Stash or rotate through, and see how they, pair well with each other. So this is my Brow Fix, I believe it's called, from Angela Ross Cosmetics, which is a Canadian indie brand. You can follow her on Instagram and her personal Instagram. I will link it down below if you'd like to support her. She does amazing things, and I think you guys should really check out some of the products she has. This one I really enjoyed using because of how time saver it is. It is a colored, like, brow tint kind of thing. It fills in your brows, it gives color, and it brushes through all in one, and I really enjoyed that. Next up is the Makeup Revolution Bright Lights Highlighter, which leaving it in this component, it was difficult. The sponge tip, but yeah, so the sponge tip, I mean, I did pop it open so that I could get all of the highlighter in and out of the little tube thing. But yeah, that sponge, and then twisting it through here, nothing came out. It did not want to apply. I thought it dried out, so that's why I took it apart. And then it wasn't dried out. I mean, I guess it kind of is. Decanted into this little container. It looks like a putty texture. It does feel like a putty texture. There is still quite a bit, which frustrates me because I don't want to get rid of this. I'm hoping to find some sort of solution of reviving this. I did mix facial oil. I did try moisturizer. I don't know what else to use to try and revive this, so I am going to still hold on to this a little while longer until I can find a solution to revive it. If absolutely nothing works, then I will end up just calling this an empty. Next is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. Again, I have the shade called Tan Lines, and I'm hitting a huge dip in this. I felt like I was going to hit pan on this, and I'm probably not close, but my fear is there of I'm potentially close to hitting pan. But looking at the side of it, I still think I've got ways to go. I do have to use quite a bit of this on my brush. I have to swirl it in a few times to get some pigment, but it is beautiful. It is so easy to use, so easy to blend, and it looks so good on my skin and on top of my foundation. No issues. This is one of my favorite bronzers. And lastly, I pulled in my Temu bronzer, which is supposed to be, I think, packaging dupe of the Fenty Beauty one. But yeah, this one is a pretty blush. I have to really dip my brush into it. I have to really pack it on to get any sort of pigment or color payoff on my cheeks. It is exactly this color you see in the pan. The brush I used kind of got all around the packaging, so I do have to clean that quite a bit, which is annoying. I did find that, I don't know if it's maybe this product alone or pairing it with the other makeup products I used. This didn't really sit well. I felt like maybe at times it kind of picked up my foundation and it gave me a little bit of trouble. So I will be trying this with other foundations, seeing if maybe this is just the issue, but I really like this. When I first tried it, I didn't think that there was any pigment at all, but there is, and I like this color. It's so pretty. So that is all of the makeup I used and picked out from last month. Let's go ahead and pick out some products for next month. I'm so excited. All right, first things first, primer and foundation drawer. Now, I know for a fact which foundation I'm going to be picking. It is just going to be a little bit of a journey with it because it's not my right shade. And I bought some things to fix it, or to like adjust the shade, so that is going to be fun to do. But for the time being, I'm going to be focusing on primers because that is what I want to obviously pick first, because that is the first of my routine. And for primer, again, I'm totally not even sure. Totally don't even know what direction I want to go in. I am indecisive. I picked a hydrating primer previously, so I think I may want to choose this one, which is an illuminating primer from shopmissa. I've tested it a bit. I want to say that it does have some sort of luminosity, glowish properties to it. So I think this is the one I am going to be pulling in. For foundation, like I said, picking one that is not my shade. I decluttered it, and then ever since, rediscovering new ways to use your products and brands bringing out shade adjuster drops and things to lighten, darken, warm up, whatever, etc. your foundations. It's actually going to be the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I didn't like this when I used it, and I used it once, and I don't think I've used it again. This shade is too ghostly pale for me. I thought it was going to be more yellow. I thought it was going to look darker, but it's not. It's the shade Fair 140W. I don't know what I was thinking with fair. I'm not a fair person. I'm more light. So I am going to have to be mixing this in with my shade adjusters that I picked up from shopmissa. I do want to try the hydrating one, but I gotta finish this one first before I bring in another. With that said, I am probably gonna have to bring in both of these. So these are the shade adjuster drops I was talking about. I picked up from shopmissa. I want the white one too, so in case that I need to lighten any foundations, I have all three available. The orange one is supposed to warm up your foundation, I believe, and then the black ones are supposed to darken your foundation. So I am probably going to need both of these. So these will also be a first. I've never used these since picking them up, so that is exciting. And our last drawer we're picking from is blush and bronzers. Now, for bronzer, I am going to be picking first on that side. I was going to go for the Flower Beauty one because I remember when I used it, it gave me so much trouble. I did not want to blend, it did not want to do anything. I literally had to mix in something else with this to force it to blend because it was just troublesome. But I don't think that I want to have another problem to deal with because I'm already having to mix in shade adjusters for the foundation I picked. I am going to be picking, I think we'll pick the Milani one. I really like this one. It is light-handed. You do have to kind of swipe quite a few times to get any pigment. And this is the shade 150 Electric Bronze. I am thinking maybe going a shade up if I try this again. But this one's really pretty. It gives you a very like dewy, sort of good healthy glow to it. It says it's a cheek and lip multi-stick. I never used it on the lips, just only on the cheeks, but I really enjoyed using this. And for blush, ton to choose from. I was almost going to pick the Petal Pop one I received in my $20 makeup challenge from shopmissa. There's actually a new one. I should be picking ones that I've neglected, but this one I want to get to know more because it is new, and you know, I should just rotate and pick things that I'm being called to. That is the newest one in my collection, the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Lip and a Cheek color. I picked such a gorgeous shade, like this going into our fall autumn months. That is why I had to pick this, because of this beautiful color. It is the shade called Berry True. Alright, we are here at my concealer, mascara, brows, and eye primer drawer. I will be picking from the concealer, mascara, brows, but not so much the eye primer, since I do still want to focus on the Urban Decay one and just kind of get that out of my collection. For concealer is actually one that I featured in my recommended products from shopmissa, and that is the Top Secret Concealer. I haven't used this in quite a while, and I think I want to, you know, bring it back out and use it again. I am using the shade called Buff. I do want to, you know, just really enjoy it again. So that is the one we're choosing. For mascara, I will be choosing another one because I think my Revlon one is at its last life, or it's pretty much getting there. And the mascara I do want to bring in is an oldie, but it was really good when I used it. I'm not so sure how I feel about it now, given that I have used other mascaras and I favorite others, you know, over others. So this is the CoverGirl Peacock Mascara. Of course, it is waterproof because that is all I can use on my top of lashes. And yeah, so I remember really liking this one. We'll see how my thoughts change, if anything. For brows, that is a good question. I think I want to use, I think I want to use this new one that I picked up for my $20 shopmissa makeup challenge, which is the Dual Brow Definer. If the camera's having a little bit of difficulty focusing, but this is the brow pencil that I want to familiarize myself more. I already do like it. For highlighters, I have plentiful to choose from. I won't be choosing from the powder drawer because I am working on one of these in my deck of panning, and I'm trying to pan it, and this is pretty much the exact same. It's just unused, so I don't really want to pull in anything there. For highlighter, I'm kind of debating on two. I am debating because I used this on a whim at one point to fix my makeup, or to use as a highlighter, excuse me, not really fix, and it took up all my foundation. So I'm wondering if I want to risk using this as a highlighter or just use it as its intended purpose, or if I want to maybe use my Flower Beauty one some more and you know, get to know this one maybe a little bit more within a month, or if I want to do powder highlighters. That is the question, because I do really like this Lagrin one, and then I really did enjoy using this one when I pulled it in from my deck of panning. But I think, oh man, this is the hard part. It's so fun, but it's also so difficult to pick products when you're, you know what, actually, we're going a whole different route. I have not used this one in a really long time. It has been ages. This is the classic e.l.f. baked highlighters. I have the shade called Moonlight Pearls. If you remember OG YouTube, this is that product.